Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel all about cross stitch. My name is Rosanna and you can find me here and on Instagram as brightanddusty. This is my Flosstube episode number 30 and it's basically just going to be a regular update today with whips and a couple of new starts. I do have a pretty lengthy save the stitch section because I got onto this like making a bunch of pillows kick out of thrifted stitches. So that's going to be really fun to show. At the very end, I will do a separate haul segment with the camera oriented down. So if you're not interested in seeing haul, that is going to be secondhand haul, either like thrift store finds or a few eBay things. So yeah, secondhand, if you are interested in seeing that, stick around. That will be at the very end. And then I do have a giveaway to go over. I think I'll just do that right before I do Save the Stitch. It's it's been really cold in upstate New York. It is snowing again right now. It just started. I don't think we're supposed to get a lot, but I just decided to throw together this video. It's been about a month since I've done an update. So why don't I get into it? I have one fully finished object, FFO. It's very small, but I will show it. So this just says tarot. It is by the Witchy Stitcher. And I decided to UFO this project. Originally, I was intending to do a bunch of the tarot cards as well. But I have since decided I don't think I'm going to do that. I still want to do the unicorn card as a separate thing. I already have that pattern. I would still like to stitch it. But I don't want to do a collage with a bunch of the cards. So I decided to just take the banner and turn it into a little pillow. And it turned out really cute. Got some swirly iridescent fabric on the back. I just glued this trim on. As you can see, it's a very fluffy yarn, multicolored, that I thought matched really well. Yeah, I had stitched this 2/1 tent stitch on a 28 count Monaco that I dyed black. And that's one of the reasons I just don't think I want to continue. Tent stitch isn't really my favorite. I'll do it sometimes. But I think I'm going to stitch the unicorn death card like 2/1 full cross on a different fabric. So that is tarot. Now I do have several whips. I think the one that I made the most progress on is called Spring House by Cute Patterns by Maria on Etsy. Here's what it looks like when it's done. And here's what it looked like the last time you saw it, about a month ago. I have been working on this one a lot. And here is where I am. My fabric is not cooperating. Here we go. This is looking really beautiful. I think this is going to look magnificent, framed and up on my wall. I've been working on this one a lot while I watch TV in the evenings with Andrew, and now that the Olympics have started, I think I'm gonna finish this. I think I'll finish this by the next video because we're gonna watch a bunch of the Olympics. And this pattern, it's a lot of just like straight line stitching. I mean, I do have to look at Pattern Keeper, but I don't have to concentrate on it, you know, really intensely because it is so many straight lines. So I have been able to make a lot of progress. I have to fill in these windows down here. There's a little bit left of the house on this side, and then there is a little bit of greenery and a fence. I am not doing the trees. So in Pattern Keeper, it says I'm up to, I think 72%, but it's actually higher than that because I'm not going to do the trees. And then there is some backstitching at the end. I don't think it's too crazy. But I really want this one to be done. It's beautiful. There's a lot of blends in here. That's why the green shading looks really good. A lot of blends with different DMC threads. The one thing is that, as you can see, there's not a lot of colors in this, which means it is a little tedious to stitch it. Because you're just switching back and forth between these greens and then like the tan colors and the darker grays for the house. Like, it is a little on the boring side, but that being said, I think it looks stunning, and I'm really happy I took this project on, because the finished result is going to be very nice. This is a 36 count linen by Fiber on a Whim, and I'm using 2 strands of DMC. So that's the spring house. That one should be done the next time I do a video. Okay, I did make some progress on Garden Hummingbird by Busilla. I forgot to bring the kit out here, so here's what it looks like when it's finished. Here is where it was last time. I think I have a before picture. Let me insert that. And here is where I am. I didn't take it out of the hoop because everything I did you can see here. What I did was, I think it was this flower, and then I've been filling in a lot of this green area. But these flowers are pretty intense. They have a lot of quarter stitches around the edge, which is why they look really well defined. But yeah, it is a lot of quarter stitches. Now that I'm into this green part, that is pretty much all full cross. So it's going a little faster. Down here, there's some more flowers, like these pink flowers. So I'm not over the hump as far as these quarter stitches go, but I can sort of like pick and choose, like, do I want to do full cross? Do I want to do quarter stitches? Like, whatever. This greenhouse, I need to get back to that. That is also a complicated area with a lot of fractionals. Not greenhouse, sorry, gazebo. But I love how this looks. The hummingbird is a little bit sparkly. It's got blending filament in there. And this one, I've decided this is going to be my focus, like, large kit. I have some smaller ones that I'm also planning to work on, but this is going to be my focus, like, really big, ambitious kit to get done this year. And I'm well on my way. Yeah, the hummingbird and the flowers, and the gazebo are the most complicated parts. If I finish that gazebo, I'm gonna be in the clear. All right. This is not the kit fabric. It's a 28 count Jobelin. So it looks really nice. It's very similar to what was in the kit. I did make a little bit of progress on the token by Long Dog Samplers. That's another one I forgot to bring the project bag out. So here's what it looks like. So I finished another motif. It's this one. That motif is brand new. This is looking beautiful. I'm using a Silks For You silk. I can put the number on the screen of what it is. Silks For You is a Etsy shop. This is a 22 count Hardinger and I'm using 1 strand. Yeah, I dyed this Hardinger myself. It's a very light pink. I like how Valentine's this looks. It is a piece to commemorate my wedding in 2022. So I have like the date in there and everything. And this is gonna be gorgeous. Yeah, as far as the Quaker style goes, I'm enjoying this, but I'm questioning if I will do more Quakers in the future. This might be enough for me. I don't know if it's really my preferred format. But I'll be happy to have this one, and this is a big one. So yeah, I think the Long Dog samplers, whenever I see them, they're so beautiful, but I don't know if my brain is really wired for that style of stitching. Maybe. And also, tastes change over time. Like in a few years, I might really be into the Quakers and that kind of thing. All right, I made a little bit of progress on a small. It's called What a Catch by Dee's 20 Stitches. Here's what it looks like. This was an exclusive last year for the Cupid Collective. It has since been released. I think within the last like week, Dee released it generally. So you can buy it from their Ko-Fi. I could probably link that. Yeah, I really need to get moving on this. I want to finish it. I did, purchase the new Cupid Collective, which is only available for the next like 3 or 4 days. So if you want it, you need to like jump on it. It's a collection of, I think this year it is 7 designs. And if you donate $10 US dollars to one of the nonprofit organizations that they specify, they will email you the collection. So I did get this year's, and there's a few in there I would like to do, but I want to finish this one first. If you're curious, I will link Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe. She did an explanatory video about how to get that collection if you want it. And again, you would have to get it within the next like 2 or 3 days, because I think the last day is like February 13th. Anyway, this is looking really cute. I have the border completely done. So if I finish up like one of these blue colors in here, I can probably start filling in, which would be nice. And this is just an 18 count Aida that I dye myself. I love this pattern. It's really cute. I love that fish. I'm just using DMC. I can't remember if it was charted in DMC, but there was definitely a DMC conversion, if not. And then I did make a little bit more progress on the glass slipper by Bella Filipina. Here is what it looks like. Here it was the last time I showed it. And here it is now. I have been working in the dress. This is starting to go a little bit faster because now I can just build off all of these lines down here. So I'm not going to talk much about this because I showed it last time, and yeah, I haven't really made a ton of progress, but that dress is starting to get some more dimension. So very beautiful. I think that concludes my whips. I do have 3 new starts. Okay, so this new start is called the Bicycle Afternoon. This is a Dimensions Petite. I had found the pattern at a thrift store by itself a while ago. I immediately kitted it, but it's just been kind of sitting around. I decided to just start it. I really like the design. This is a difficult one to find. Some of these Dimensions Petites, they're really hard to find, but I started this shortly after my last video, so about a month ago, and I have made a lot of progress. So here we are. Can you believe it? I have just been going nuts on this. This is an 18 count Aida. And I started off in the center. I did the bike, pretty much completed the bike. And now I've just been kind of going around. But I don't know why. I love this so much. I have decided what I've learned about myself and Aida. I don't know if you can see. This circle finish, the Christmas, that's a full coverage. It's small, but it's a full coverage. And I did it on Aida. It was a very soft Aida that I had found at a thrift store. And what I've discovered is that if the Aida is really soft, then I love it and I can go fast. And I particularly love it for like a small full coverage. This isn't 100% full coverage, but it's pretty close. So it is something I've learned about myself, that if the Aida is very soft, then it is maybe my preferred fabric for something like this. And it's just very enjoyable. It's a very low stress, like, I know that if I take it out, I'm gonna be able to go fast. My hand isn't gonna get tired. My needle isn't gonna be fighting me. So it's just very comfortable. And yeah, now I've started kind of like figuring out in my stash, like what do I have that's soft? Soft Aida versus like hard Aida. I don't like the stiff Aida. Even if it's like for instance, I had an MCG Textiles. I think it was an 18 count. I pulled it out, I washed it because I was like, okay, maybe that'll soften it up. And it's not really that stiff. Like, it's not anything in comparison to what you would get in a DMC kit these days, or a Dimensions kit these days. But for me, it was still like too stiff. So I have to be pretty particular. I really like the soft Aidas. The other thing is that if you get hand-dyed Aida, that tends to be really soft too. So I would just be even inclined to just stitch something like this on a hand-dyed, you know, if I can't get my hands on a soft Aida. But I do have a lot of Aida, and as long as I just kind of like go through and determine which ones are soft enough, then I think I'll be good. But this is beautiful. I love it. I've gone like crazy with these Dimensions Petites. I'll show you in my haul. I've bought several of them. I also went through and organized the ones that I already had because I'm like, I love this style and I love the size of them. So I've been having a great time with this, and I'm just gonna keep, you know, moving on it. Obviously it's a summertime piece, so I can just keep going as much as I want. So that was kind of a long digression about Aida. I'm sure it was fascinating. I have I have two more new starts. And this is actually kind of related to the Bicycle Afternoon. It's another Dimensions. This is not a Petite, this is a regular gold collection. It's called Twilight's Calm. Okay, so what happened was I found this on eBay, like the pattern, most of the floss, no fabric, but it was a really good price. This one's a little on the pricey side. It's called Twilight's Calm. And the person who had, you know, owned it previously had cut out the picture. But it's the original pattern and everything. But this really reminds me of a place in the Poconos in Pennsylvania where Andrew and I go a lot during the summer. So as soon as I saw this, I knew I wanted to stitch it. So yeah, a little bit of the floss was missing and I might have to supplement, but like for the most part it was all there. So I have one of those Adirondack chairs started. This is another one that I decided to do on a soft Aida. I rummaged around in my stash until I found one that was soft enough. So yeah, once the Bicycle Afternoon is finished, I think this will become more of a priority. But I'm glad to just have it started and, you know, I can pick it up when I want. Okay, I have one more new start. It's a really, really tiny start. So this is called Florence Mary Dickinson. It is by Hands Across the Sea Samplers, although it is a Hobby House exclusive pattern. Hobby House is a needlework shop located in Victor, New York, which is actually very close to where I live. I mean, I picked this up at the shop itself, but you can also, you know, get it online. I had bought this pattern probably over a year ago, on an impulse. I saw the model on the wall. It was really beautiful. So I bought it back then, and then I didn't do anything with it. But I saw that Jill from Stitch and Books and Stephanie from Cross Stitch the Globe were getting a start on this. So I just decided to join them. I didn't really ask if I could, but I did anyway. And yeah. My start is very petite. I started in the middle. And this linen is called Compline by Tropical Stitches on Etsy. This is a 40 count. I'm using 1 strand. Yeah, I was pretty shocked by how similar Compline was to the model, because I already had this. So it was relatively easy to just kit up. And I'm just going to use DMC. I didn't buy anything special. I'm sure it's going to look lovely. The other thing, I bought WinStitch, the charting software, because I have an antique that I want to reproduce. I showed it a few videos ago. So I finally did get the software, and I've just been like playing around with it, learning how to use it. This booklet is insane. It has so many page breaks, and I don't like page breaks because I tend to make mistakes. Page breaks for me are quite confusing. So I did not like the design of this booklet. I just decided to rechart it for my own use in WinStitch. I mean, I wouldn't do that with like everything because it's pretty time consuming, but there was no way I was gonna like deal with all these page breaks. So that was my last new start. Why don't I do the giveaway quick before I move into Save the Stitch? Okay, so I ran the random comment picker, and let's see, the first one was this kit by Needle Treasures. I'm gonna run the winners' handles across the screen. For all 3 of these winners, if you could just email me brightanddusty@gmail.com with your name and your mailing address, I will get these out to you. So the winner of the Needle Treasures kit was Wendy Lynn 8413. The winner of this book, Cross Stitch Keepsakes, was Cherrywood_needle. And then the winner of, this is Lavender and Lace Fairy Dreams. She's upside down. The winner of that is C Sue 413. So thank you to anyone who entered the giveaway. If those 3 winners could email me, and I'll get these out to you, ASAP. I'm pretty good at mailing stuff. I have to mail a lot of stuff for my jewelry shop, so I'm pretty good at getting it out fast. Okay, I've got quite a bit of Save the Stitch. The first one I'll show is not actually cross stitch, but I wanted to show it. It is needlework. It's really cool. It's a punch needle. I don't think I've ever actually found a punch needle finish in my thrifting excursions, but I did. I found this at Goodwill. Here it is. So I'm in love with this. With cross stitch, we always say like the photographs are never going to look as good as it looks in person. The second best thing, obviously, is video, you know, see it in a video. But the very best way to see cross stitch is to see it in person. It's never going to look as beautiful in person. I think that that is especially true for punch needle. Because you look at the pictures, like, I subscribe to Punch Needle Primitive Stitcher magazine, and you look at the photos of the models in the magazine, you're like, okay, it looks a little weird, like, I don't know if I want to take the time to make that. But seeing this beautiful finish in person really converted me to wanting to learn punch needle. So I'm determined to do it. I bought the Ultra Punch. This is the one that's recommended by Teresa Kogut. So I got this off Amazon. And then the same manufacturer who does those makes the fabric. So I just got like a yard of the fabric, which would probably go a long way. I already have these Morgan stands, which are, you know, recommended for punch needle because you need to keep the fabric really tight. So I already have a couple of these. So my plan is to get one started. I actually tried to teach myself back in, I want to say October. I didn't get very far. But, you know, now that I found this, I'm really inspired to give it another shot. So it's really cool. I have no idea where this design came from. I took a picture of it and did a Google search, but I didn't really come up with anything. So it must just be from a book or something. But I love it. I love how small it is. I want to do one where the loops are like really tiny, like this one. So last time I showed Victorian Shops by Charles Wysocki. It's a Dimensions kit. Oops, here is what it looks like. I am finishing the back stitching on this. I didn't get too far, but I did make a little bit of progress. So I back stitched the flower shop down here, this carriage and the horse, and then these people down here. So I'm just gonna keep back stitching, like, you know, start here, go like one element by one element until it's finished. I found this at Goodwill a long time ago, and I just decided, you know, why not just backstitch it, put it in a frame. It's really pretty. So it's a lot of backstitching, but I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. It's looking really nice. I mean, the backstitching makes a huge difference in a piece like this. All right, I made a bunch of little pillows from rescued stitches and also one big pillow. So let me go gather those and I'll just show them one by one. I will do the small pillows first. There are 5. This is Heart and Hand, Wee Santa. I forget what year. They release these every year, I think. This is from the early 2000s. Heart and Hand is the same company that makes the Tiny Towns. So, yeah, this is just a really cute Santa. I found it thrifting. This charm was already on there. It says Believe. It's really cute. Stitcher put their, looks like initials and the year down here. I added some Santa backing fabric that says The Magic of Santa. And then I just stuffed it with polyfill. All of these were stuffed with polyfill. So I love how that turned out. This was one I had found in the kit packaging. It was loose, it was finished. I forget what the name of it is. It is a Dimensions kit. I love it. So I added, this is a unicorn. I know this is Pegasus. This is a unicorn, but close enough. And then I really like this trim. It matches perfectly. And I just glued it. I glued it on. Looks fantastic. This is a Cricut collection from the 80s. This isn't actually the whole pattern. But this is the way I found it. It was in a frame. This is what they had stitched. And this is on a 22 count. And I just thought it was really cute. So it looks like they put their initials down here. I backed it with raspberry fabric. I always like a farm theme. This one's fun. I don't know what this pattern is. This was actually in a frame. They had glued it in there, and it was a lot of glue. I had to cut off a fair amount of the edge to make this work. But it didn't really look good in the frame. You know, it was older, it was loose, and I think it made a beautiful pillow. And I just backed it with some pine cones. It's sparkly, I really like it. Here is the last of the small pillows. This is from the Prairie Schooler. R is for rabbit. I like this because my initial is R, so yeah, I think I found this last spring somewhere. I just found it loose, but it was finished. So I backed it with some woodland. There are a few little bunnies on here, so. This is a really soft Ada. It's funny, because now I'm like really sensitive to it. So I'm like, oh, this is this is the kind of Ada I like. Yeah, I think most of these were stitched on Ada, except for the one on Hardinger. So it's beautiful. I don't know what got into me. I think I just go through phases. Like sometimes I'll go through a phase where I want to make a bunch of project bags. Sometimes I'll go through a phase where I want to make a bunch of pillows. But I was just having fun making the pillows. Okay, I do have one big pillow. This is a needlepoint. I had shown it, I think in my last video. I found it loose. It was finished. It is called Cottage Cove. It was a sunset kit from like, I don't know, the year 2000, somewhere around there. And I have finished it into a pillow. just backed it with the same blue. It's a little shiny. So I'm really happy that now this can just be, you know, a pillow in my house. And it can be admired. And yeah, this is such a pretty kit. Someone spent a lot of time on this. And I think it made an awesome pillow. I think I did a pretty good job. Like, I didn't have to cut off much of it. It looks good. I used a pre-formed pillow for the inside. I forget what the brand was. Actually, I think it was Charles Craft. Probably. But anyway. This looks awesome. Okay, that concludes the pillows. Now, I have 3 loose ones that I actually bought on eBay. They popped up for a really good price as one lot. So they are, obviously they are somebody's whips. There's 3 of them. I primarily bought it because I wanted a specific one, but you know, it came with all 3, so now I have all 3. So this is the one that's like closest to being done. So this is Gigi R, the letter B. As you can see, it's almost complete. It's just that part of the border down there is missing. So eventually I will just finish this. It's not really a priority right now, but it's got so little left on it. I would really like to finish it and then turn it into something. They stitched this 1/1, or no, like, is it 2/1? It's 2/1, I think, but it's on one of these big count even weaves. So that's lovely. I think I was able to match the color to DMC 816. It's pretty close. So, okay, the other one, and the hanging threads are still in here. So, I mean, this was somebody else's project. This is by Ink Circles. And to my mind, the hard part of this is done. All those black outlines are done. So I just need to get this pattern. I would like to finish this because it's really pretty, and yeah, the hard part, I wouldn't have to do the hard part. So why not? And once again, this looks like a 28 count even weave. 2 strands. Okay, and here's the one. This is the one I bought the lot because I really wanted this one. It's called Angel of... I always get this mixed up. I think it's the Angel of Love. Looks like that. Yeah, it's called Angel of Love by Lavender and Lace. I already had this pattern. I actually already have the beads because back in my early days of cross stitching, I was planning to stitch this. I bought all of the beads, which that's kind of expensive because she has a ton of beads in her skirt. So I already have them. Most of them. I mean, I know that I've borrowed a few things, but I have most of the beads, and this is somebody's whip where they finished a fair amount of it, but none of the beading. Well, except for up here. They did a little bit of the beading up here, but they didn't do the beading in the skirt. So this is a perfect opportunity for me to just like finish it, and I can have it on my wall and I can use those beads. So that just seemed, I mean, it seemed like I was kind of fated to find this. So the stitching on her is absolutely gorgeous. I don't have any like issue with the quality of it. I think their X's go in a different direction than mine, but I don't think it's really going to make that big of a difference. Especially since all that blue is basically done. So I'll just do X's like my own way in the skirt here. But I love this. So that's gonna be fun. I already gathered all the DMC, so all I need to do is get it on a hoop and I can get her started. But yeah, that was just kind of a random eBay find. Okay, that concludes, well, I shouldn't say it concludes. I have one more Save the Stitch. And I saved it for the end because it is the most impressive, it's the biggest, and you probably know what it is because I think I'm gonna have it as like the thumbnail image on the video. Okay, let me see. It's kind of like, I'm gonna insert a separate clip just to show the whole thing all at once. And then I think I'll just hold it up while I'm seated and show like the different animals. Okay, so let me insert that little clip. Okay, so hopefully that gives a good idea of what it looks like in its entirety. I found this at a thrift store a few weeks ago. I just spotted it out of the corner of my eye. This is called Forest Friends by Stoney Creek. It came out in 1994. You can still get this pattern from Stoney Creek. So that's the beautiful fox there. Aren't these just the cutest? And there's so much back stitching. Love that possum. Yeah, there's a lot of detail with all the flowers and... Okay, I think this one's the one in the middle, the raccoon. There's a rabbit. I love this porcupine. And let's see. I think the groundhog is the last one. We had so many groundhogs where I grew up in Pennsylvania. And no, I missed one. I think this is the last one. I guess it's a chipmunk, right? So this was an incredible find. You know, I never really expected to find a full, like, completed Afghan. I was kind of wondering, like, how many of these do you think were actually made? Made and finished back in 1994? I mean, I'm thinking probably not that many. So that was really awesome. And yeah, this Afghan, it looks like it's 2/1 full cross, but it's like the big squares. So yeah, what an amazing acquisition. Yeah, I have an Afghan, like a blank one for cross stitch, still in the plastic package. Probably Charles Craft, I want to say. So I don't know, maybe I would attempt an Afghan someday. I think I would prefer to do a tree skirt first. So, you know, we'll see. Obviously, I have big ambitions. I already have like way too many whips as it is. But and I've lost my notes. Here they are. I think that was like pretty much it except for haul. So I hope you enjoyed the Save the Stitch segment. This was much larger Save the Stitch than normal just because I made all those pillows. But, you know, it was fun. I like displaying them around the place. I'm gonna have to get another pillow shelf or something because I have too many now. And yeah, if the giveaway winners could just get in contact with me. But I think that's all I really have to say. And I'm glad to be back here on Flosstube. It was a little difficult for me to get motivation to make the video. I think it's been ridiculously cold and with no like break in the weather. I think this week finally we're supposed to get up into the 30s. So hopefully that is the case, but I've just been feeling very unmotivated to do a whole lot of anything except stitching itself. I'm still really enjoying that. But it was fun to finally hop on and do a video and show all of the Save the Stitches before I, you know, make a bunch more pillows. And these videos are gonna end up being like 2 hours. Just kidding. I hope not. But I am going to end this part of the video here. If you want to see haul, please stick around. It'll probably be like 10-15 minutes. But until the next time, happy stitching. Bye. Here is my haul from the past month or so. It's kind of a lot. I did do a lot of thrifting and I took a trip to Pennsylvania. So it's gonna seem like a lot, but anyway, retail therapy was happening for better or for worse. This one I actually got as a gift from Andrew. My birthday was in January, and I told him I'm really into the Gold Collection Petites right now, so he got me this one. It's called the Overlook Cafe. And I love how in the Dimensions Petites, they can pack so much detail into a small space. So I was really excited to get this. After I finish the Bicycle Afternoon, I think I might start this one. So thank you, Andrew. This was actually one I picked up on eBay. It's called the Harbor Bay Seascape by Busilla. The original artist is Steve Klein down here. I looked that up, and I think he mostly was transferred into needlepoint, his artwork into needlepoint. But this one's a cross stitch, and I fell in love with it as soon as I saw it. It actually reminds me of where I live in the Finger Lakes. Very similar vibe. So this was a complete kit. It had all the threads. I do need to separate them. This one I think is going to be a summer start for me. And then in my trip to Pennsylvania, I was lucky enough to find this. It's called the Pear Perfection Bowl. This is a hard one to find. And it was complete. It has everything in there. And it's a Mill Hill kit. The original artist is Debbie Mum. So I'm definitely planning to stitch this. I've seen it finished on some people's Instagrams, and it is very bead heavy, but it's beautiful. This one was very inexpensive on eBay. Janlyn, Welcome Puppies. The reason I got this is because I love the artist, who is Diana Thomas. I have another whip by her called The Spring's Guardian, which is an angel, also by Janlyn. So I just thought this was really cute, and I love the artwork. I think Diana Thomas's art just transfers so beautifully into cross stitch. I pretty much like all of the kits that were by her. And then this one was complete. So this was a new designer to me, Kit and Bixby. But they have a lot of really, really cute stuff. They also have a lot of sheep. If you're into sheep, I thought their sheep were adorable. I haven't gotten any of them yet, but I thought this house was really nice. And I got it because it came with all the DMC, so it was a really good deal. But yeah, I'm in the middle of stitching a rather large house right now, so I'm not starting this one right away. This was kind of a random Goodwill find. It's just an Imaginating kit that says Christmas, but you can see it's very cute with the mice and all the colorful details. And this one did come with all the thread. So yeah, what is this called? Christmas sweatshirt, I guess? This looks like an older one. This one, also from the thrift store. This one did not have the thread, so if I were to do it, I would have to kit it myself. It's a really pretty angel. So this is Busilla. It's called Celestial Angel. Yeah, this one, it had the fabric, but it didn't have the colors. So, I don't know. Yeah, I've really gotten into the gold petites. This one was very inexpensive, so I just picked it up. Moonlit Cabin. Love that. Yes, I've heard that Dimensions has been acquired by another company or something, and if you look at Amazon, they're like all sold out. So I don't know what's going on. I really hope that the new owners are able to actually like continue making the kits. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't have any like inside information, obviously, but I'm a little concerned that so many of the kits are sold out. This one I found on the online shop House of Stitches. It was very inexpensive. It's called Charts and Charms: The Living Ocean. And it's interesting because I think in this pattern it's mostly half stitch in the water. So maybe that would cut down on the amount of time this would be. I mean, these Charts and Charms are kind of deceptive because they're not petite. These are like full sized. But you just get the charms. You don't get the color or the floss. But this one was new in the package, and I just really love this design. Those orcas are really, really beautiful. All right, this will definitely be a, fall winter start for me. It's called the Winter Hideaway. It is a Gold Collection Petites. As I said, I've started pretty aggressively collecting these. I just love the format of them and the size. So this one was opened, but it wasn't like stitched at all. So it has all the materials. So that'll be fun. Here's a random one I got for a really good price. It's called Elisa. Or the brand is Elisa. The title of it is Isabella. So it's grapes and wine, and yeah, I like these overseas kits that are kind of like I want to say like kind of soft focus. I don't really know how to describe it, but it definitely seems to be a style, and I think they're really pretty. Yeah, because there's not a lot of backstitching. It's, but it really works. So this was the full thing. You can still get this one on my bobbin. I think I checked and it was still in stock. So, and then this was a lucky Goodwill find. It's called Ocean ABC by Designworks. So speaking of backstitching, this would be a lot of backstitching, but the cool thing about this is you could just do one motif at a time, and I think, eventually it would be finished. But yeah, it's really, really big. I feel like I saw somebody on Flosstube who finished this, but now I don't remember who that was. But look at these colors. So bright. Sorry for that brief pause. The heat was about to kick in and I didn't it was going to be really loud, so I had to like quickly turn that off. Um but here's the colors for that. So vibrant. And again, I think this is one that is still in print. It's still available. If you like that style. And all right, so here I couldn't believe I found this. This is a Christmas tree skirt. It's a full kit. It's called, well, it's by Busilla and it's called Santa Classic. And I've been kind of mulling over like what tree skirt I want to do. This one is very adorable. So I don't know. This is a possibility now that I have it. But I love all the toys. It's got a lot of great colors. I think that would be really fun. So they provide an 11 count Ada. I don't know if I would use that. But yeah. That was really lucky. I don't find a lot of tree skirt kits. Here was another lucky thrift store kit find. It is by DMC brand. It is called Summer Fruit. And as you can see, it is mostly reds and pinks. We got strawberries, cherries, flowers. So this is gorgeous. This will be a good one for the strawberry moon, you know, in June. And yeah, this one was complete. Very nice organization here. I found one of these little, actually I found a couple of these. This one is a sunflower. Sunshine Whimsy, that's what it's called. So it's not really an ornament. It's supposed to be like, oh, you put it in a plant for decoration, but I think if I was going to do it, I would just do it as an ornament. And then I think, oh yeah, here is the other one from that brand. I found the cow. It's called Happy Moo Year. So that is really cute. All of these come with perforated plastic, not the paper. I found this, another one of these heirloom Santas. I have a lot of these. I did not have this one called the Nordic Santa, so I was happy to pick that up. It's unopened. These come with the perforated paper. These are the older, I mean, now you can get the Mill Hill ones. These are the older ones from Wilmar Crafts. But I tend to find these a lot. I have a bunch of these. They must have been pretty popular. And a couple of other random small Christmas things. These golden ornament blanks. I have a couple more of these actually in my stash. So maybe one day I'll just, or one weekend I'll try to turn them all into ornaments because I think they would be really pretty. So yeah, the brand is called Needleform. But these are really fun. This one I just got because it comes with this frame. You can see here. It comes with this frame that has this really cute goose. So I will probably just stitch something random to put in there. But I love this frame. It's really adorable. Alright, now I just have a few random like leaflets. I found the Coca-Cola polar bears. This is a Pegasus Publications. I want to say probably from the 90s. But I do have some nostalgia for the old like Coca-Cola branding, so this was just kind of fun. Yeah, I think my favorite is this up here. I'm not going to go through the whole magazine. This is a Leisure Arts magazine, Celebrations to Cross Stitch and Craft. This is from autumn 1993. And my favorite thing is these chickens. Because they showed one of them done separately as like a little stand-up. Isn't that the cutest thing? So yeah, I think I want to do a little chicken like that. And I think that was basically like my favorite thing in the magazine. So here's like a bigger picture of it. But yeah, this has some different random like Halloween stuff. Stoney Creek, heirloom, heirloom, heirloom huck towels. You get quite a variety here. Very colorful. Those grapes are really nice. So there's a lot of fruit in there. Looks like also some what is this? Asparagus? This carrot towel is kind of nice. This is another Stony Creek. I guess clown trigger warning. There are some clowns here. Uh, Actually, I think the pictures in the middle are a little bigger. You got some unicorns, various carousel horses, clown again, trigger warning, clown. Um, yeah, they show a bunch of these things on different types of fabric. So yeah, you get a lot of designs in here. There's some bears. I like these. They sort of look like dueling unicorns. I like that a lot. And then this one is another unicorn that they didn't show on the inside. That might be my favorite. So there's a lot in this book. It's just called Wish It, book 37. Here is On the Pond. This is a Cross My Heart brand. You get a lot of nice nature patterns in here. If you like dragonflies, this has a really nice dragonfly on the cattail. And you get some frogs. I think basically on the back it's the same stuff, although there is a turtle up there. But yeah, that dragonfly is really pretty. This is an imaginating. It's an old one. Grandma's favorites, but personally I do really like this shelf. Country style shelf. I like that. So that's why I picked this up. And I think that's it for this one. You get Raggedy Ann. Excuse me. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy down here. And this one's kind of cool. I found like a vintage Kathy Barrick pattern. I don't know if this one's still available. This says copyright 1998 on it. But I just thought that was kind of fun, you know. She's a very popular designer these days, obviously. But this is one of her older ones. So that was really cool. It's called Angel Sampler. And we're getting down to the end here. This is a no count. So this was a stamped Ada. But it was extremely inexpensive. I just thought, well, you know, either maybe someday I'll try it or maybe, you know, I'll give it away, something to someone who would like it. But it's called Garden Gathering. And the flower design, sorry about the glare. The flower design is really, really pretty. Yeah, I'm not sure how much I would enjoy this. This seems like a pretty stiff Ada. So you can see, you like fill in the lines. And then the last thing, I mean, I found some other magazines. I'm not going to go through those. Maybe some other day. But this is a Leisure Arts. It's just called Bunnies Galore. So if you like bunnies, this is a really nice booklet. It has a ton of designs. This one with the garden of bunnies is really pretty. And then there's one, the bunny and the butterfly. There's some larger photos in the middle. Let me just show those. Yeah, I found this one finished. I have this somewhere. I should make that into a pillow. I like these guys down here. So yeah, lots and lots of bunnies. Different styles. Oh, this one's my favorite. Bunny with a chick. It's like a bunny in an egg. And then the chick is driving the carriage. And then here's one with more chicks. That is so cute. So, here's the last page. So a really wide variety in this book. Here is the back cover. All right. So I think that is about it. That was a lot. Most of it was ones that I had found traveling. So I had a lot of fun doing that and just picking up random things. But I think that is where I will conclude the video. And I'll probably see you again in about a month for another regular update when hopefully the Spring House by Cute Patterns by Maria will be finished. That is my number one goal. All right, thank you for watching. Until next time, happy stitching. Bye.